Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is SpacetoJump. I'm Christian. You bunch of faggots.
Oh, I thought Reno was gonna go. I forgot the order is me and then Reno.
Let's just keep it. We'll run with it.
No, just restart. We're only 40 seconds in. Let's go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. God damn it.
How hard is it to say hello?
How hard is it to follow up after say, hey, I'm Andrew?
You didn't establish an order this time.
Keep this
Shut
in.
up.
Keep this in. This is good.
I
I don't see why this is not good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is SpacetoJump. My name is Christian.
I'm Andrew.
God
damn it, Reno! We established that it was gonna be me, and then
Let's
you.
talk about our first topic, which is
You know what? No. Fuck you. We're gonna do this right.
Okay, we're keeping all this in. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is SpacetoJump. My name is Christian.
And god damn it!
Is this our new problem? Like last week it was
No,
Ridge,
just
and now it's
go. We got it this time.
Okay. Last week our issue was segues. Now it's intros. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is SpacetoJump. My name is Christian.
I'm Andrew.
God.
Hi, Reno.
There, Reno's a fucking asshole. We established that. Let's go on. Let's move.
Okay, so what have you guys been? What have y'all been playing this week or the past 2 weeks? We did the bi-weekly thing.
Well, I just got into Destiny. Again, after like a
Like
2-month hiatus of not really playing the game, I've actually started playing. Well, it's because my uncle started playing again, so we're gonna start trying to like do all the raids and stuff, which is gonna be fun.
I've always heard it's a lot of fun. I never got into it because I don't have any space on my PS.
I have it. I just
You're
don't play it. It's weird. I
not
really
sure,
don't.
yeah.
Starting to think it's not for me.
I mean, yeah, it's not for everyone for sure.
Yeah.
You're not really a big shooter guy, so I mean.
Yeah. What about you, Rena? What have you been playing?
I'm still playing MKX, and I also recently bought Order of Ecclesia for my DS, and that game is good.
I was gonna say, how is that?
Yeah,
Some people don't like it because it's not. It's very linear. Like what I'm playing right now. It's linear, but like, it's still a good game.
How far in are you?
I'm like, I don't even know. That's the thing about like this game. Like usually in a Metroidvania, I would know how far I am because I usually have like a set goal for you to do.
I mean, you never like you don't know how long you've been playing the game.
I've been playing it for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's why. I mean, most Castlevania games are linear for the first hour or two.
No, Symphony of the Night wasn't, and Portrait of Ruin wasn't.
That's 2 out of like a dozen plus games.
Aria wasn't. Dawn of Sorrow wasn't.
Dawn of Sorrow was.
Not to me.
Harmony of Despair for the PS3 is totally not linear, by the way. It's super.
Harmony of Despair just taught us to not trust giant puppets.
Basically, that asshole kept on screwing us.
Fucking-
Well, I've been playing.
Oh, we should play that after this.
We really should.
Yes.
That game was fun.
Down.
I've been playing A Realm Reborn, the Final Fantasy MMO, and I've also been playing Final Fantasy X. So I've been kind of on a Final Fantasy kick, which is strange from normal, because normally I'm a big Shin Megami fan, but I haven't played a lot of Shin Megami.
You finally came to. Actually, I can't even say the right.
No,
When it comes to JRPGs, there's no right side.
There really isn't.
There's Tales of, and Tales of is just average, which is why it's nice because you can never really be disappointed.
Really, like I've been enjoying it. A Realm Reborn is really fun though. I wouldn't even consider it a JRPG. I consider it straight up MMO, but it's super fun.
A JRPG MMO.
That's just too many letters.
Nonsense.
But, it's nuts. But yeah, I've picked it. It's so fun because I picked the Pugilist class, which is just like the punching. Like I was gonna be like a warrior with a great axe. I was like, but then I was going through the classes and it's like Pugilist. I was like, I can punch shit. I've just been going around punching the nuts off of everything, and it is so fun.
Like Fallout 3 without the Fallout.
Yeah, or without the disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that. We probably had this argument a few times now.
Oh yeah, you're scum who prefers 3 to New Vegas.
I prefer my games to function, thank you very much.
Fuck.
Hey,
yeah,
it
alright.
functioned fine for me.
hot opinions.
I mean,
All right, let's not.
let's move on. Let's move on to
Let's
something else that
not.
has varied opinions towards everything. How about Kickstarter? It's been a huge.
Oh, we're
basket.
starting off with that, huh?
Hey, you know.
I mean, I guess we might as well just get hot and heavy with these onions.
So it's been a huge week for Kickstarter, a huge 2 weeks for Kickstarter. Between Yooka-Laylee, which is developed by past Rare devs, and also bass David Wise is doing music for it. And you have the new Castlevania, which is backed by
Not Castlevania, technically, it's just a spiritual successor.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Bloodstain.
Castlevania.
I'm not gonna
Bloodstain.
bother pronouncing his last name, but it is Koji, who was the co-director and writer of Symphony of the Night.
We just changed his name to Kobe. Kobe
Kobe
Bryant.
Bryant,
No,
Yeah.
game developer.
no.
Come on and what?
It's bad enough that I'm not gonna butcher his last name. We're not gonna purposely butcher his first name too.
Miserable pile of secrets.
And just what is a dunk but a miserable pile of secrets?
Miserable pile of net.
Yeah, and just Kickstarter in general. I guess we can start off with Yooka-Laylee blasting the tits out of its goal.
I mean, I guess we might as well start off positive. Yooka-Laylee is a prime example of how to do Kickstarter correctly.
Yay.
I mean, what did that game show the day before the Kickstarter even went up? It showed actual gameplay footage and actual in-game screenshots.
Running around and collecting things.
And then the Kickstarter comes out, and we already know what the game's gonna look like. Amazing!
Oh, yeah. And let me give you an estimate.
Unreal.
I think it broke its goal. I think it broke its goal within like 30 minutes, if that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
And,
was
like,
less than an
current-
hour.
Yeah, like its current goal. Yeah, its current goal, like its goal was only to make $270,000, which is pretty modest. It's like, oh, you only need 270.
It's like 500,000 euros.
As of right
Yeah.
now, it's at $2,405,761
And it's
And
counting.
in euros, that
rapidly.
translates to a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in euros
something.
that's about
That's about
4 or 5 million.
yeah, I don't know, stupid European.
I don't know
ones.
the exact conversion numbers. I'm not fucking. I'm not a Euroboo.
I'm not Euroboo. I only play Witcher 3. I only play Witcher and Stalker
I only play
and
Ubisoft Montreal.
Slav games. If it's
Yeah,
not,
right. I only play Ubisoft games.
If it's not from Yugoslavia, it's shit.
Wait, Deus Ex. Deus Ex was made in
I never asked for this.
Montreal, so I guess that works.
No, Montreal is Canada, isn't it?
That's not America, though.
It's still
That's not
foreign to us.
European. That's
It's-
Canada.
America is the anti-promised land. As long as it's not America, we're fine.
And then we also have, let me see what the other one was, Bloodstain. I'm looking up what the Bloodstain. Yeah, then Bloodstain is at $1,684,000. Already 336% funded, and I think it was only released yesterday.
Oh,
That's
how many days
something
does it say
going
left?
on
Does
with
it say it have left?
Oh, it has like 30 days left.
Everything
it's
is
been
like
out for 2 days.
funded.
Yeah.
I think if they have another stretch goal for online co-op, then that'd be cool.
That was already a thing, wasn't it?
No, it's local co-op.
Mm. See, I've donated to Yooka-Laylee, but I haven't donated to Bloodstain because I just don't like Metroidvanias. Sorry, I like
Yeah.
Guacamelee.
You
like
like
Guacamelee.
Yooka-Laylee because it's more of a joke than anything else.
Well, I also like the combat. I feel like the combat's really flowy and really like combo heavy and stuff. I just don't like Castlevania's combat. I may have just not got far enough into it.
I mean, no, the combat never really gets anything crazy unless you're playing Lords of Shadow, which let's not talk about that game.
We did that last week.
That's why I said that's not.
But
When it comes to these two Kickstarters have very stark differences in how they were approached too. I mean,
And,
technically not it's not like they're night and day differences, but there's one distinct difference between the two. As I said,
yes.
Yooka-Laylee launched with gameplay footage and in-game screenshots. So we know what the game's
And
going to look like,
Bloodstain
and we have a general idea of how it's going to play in our minds.
and
That's actually
Bloodstain
relevant. And
launched
Bloodstain was just concept art, which
Bloodstain also launched with a hype, with a website like, are you chain or are you sword? whip a sword or whatever. That was the other part, which I guess that's marketing. But,
I mean,
yeah, and I mean,
it's just concept art. Which okay, I'm gonna. Some people still like to defend Mighty Number 9, and that's fine if you do. But I mean, look at the concept art for that, and look at the actual finished game, or not finished game. Technically, it's still being made, but look at what the visuals are going to look like. It's very like people want to defend. It's an Unreal Engine 3 game. Donkey Kong Country on the Wii ran an Unreal Engine 2.
MK9 is Unreal Engine 3. MKX is Unreal Engine 3.
It is. No, I thought it was 4.
Nope.
It's 3.
I'm dead serious.
I'm gonna look this up.
No, we already looked it up. We looked it up beforehand while you were out playing Smashy.
Smashy.
Unreal Engine. Shit, Unreal Engine. Oh my god, fucking Mighty Number 9, you fucking up. All right.
But,
Now, this leads into my problem with Kickstarter. It's not a site thing. It's more of a like developer who wants to make a Kickstarter thing.
I actually have an own issue with this too. I have my own
story. If I'm not given like right now, I really want to like everyone like all my friends think I'm excited for Bloodstain. I'm actually not. I'm very worried about it actually because we have no footage, as Andrew said. Like right now, I'm literally at the pledge screen where like I want to pledge $60 for the physical copy, but that $60 can go to a shitty game. Like it like that's the thing with Kickstarter. Like unless you have footage, you don't know where you're getting, and that's the sad part. And like it's really easy to pitch a game like Yooka-Laylee or Bloodstain because the way I see it is like when Mighty Number 9 was kickstarted, it did it so coincidentally.
Well, it was pitched as Mega Man, and everyone loves Mega Man. Mega Man's like a legend of gaming. So when you pitch,
it was so easy to pitch that game. It was like, oh, you don't like Capcom because they're doing shit right now. Go and support Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, remember all those classic Mega Man games you love? Yeah, dude, like, we totally have that. That's what this is gonna be.
Nothing like that.
$6 million instantly, and now you have Bloodstain. Now I already know, like I'm not gonna criticize the game, but it's just coincidental and also smart. In this case, it's smart because this guy left a long time ago.
Well, he's wanted to work on the series and the genre in general for a long time. It's just, like he said in the actual Kickstarter video, it's just investors didn't believe that there was a market. And, you know...
And that's stupid.
No. Okay, what's your reasoning for that?
My reasoning for that is because, I mean, it is technically a niche genre, but at the same time, you also have to factor in, yeah, you know, it's still... Like you're still getting a lot of content.
Well,
and like the investors don't give a shit if the game's gonna have a lot of content. Just because the game has a lot of content, that doesn't mean the game's gonna fucking sell.
I believe
the investors don't believe that the game's gonna sell.
The last Metroidvania game to sell really well was like Yooka-Laylee.
And it's an indie game. It didn't really sell that well, but by indie standards, it sold well. And that's the important thing. When you have a AAA game like what Koji was probably wanting to produce, something with a higher budget, bigger development team, and higher scope, you have to sell more copies. And when you're getting investors, and you're not just doing an indie project, once you get investors involved, they're going to want bigger money. They don't want just some of the money. They want all of the money.
All the money.
And people want to say, well, man, look at how fast the Kickstarter got funded, but look at the backer count. If you look at the backer count is like, I don't even know. I'll just, I won't even reference it because, of course, the Kickstarter still has 30 days left. But look at Mighty Number 9.
It's got 21,000 backers right now on Bloodstained, and in comparison, Yooka-Laylee has 48,000 backers.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk into an investor room and say 50,000 people want to buy this game, do you think they're gonna actually give you millions of dollars to make this game, or are they gonna laugh you out? They're gonna laugh you out of the place.
Good. Yeah, you're one to aim in the high millions.
It's like 50. We live in a day and age where companies like Capcom, Square Enix, and Sega view selling less than 5 million units as a failure for some games. And in this day and age, 50,000 units, 50,000 like confirmed backers doesn't mean shit. So people can say, well, this means that there is a community. No, this just means that there's a super dedicated community that's willing to fund the game themselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that the game itself is going to sell exceedingly well and worth, investors giving all their money to it. That's why I like the fact that this is actually a Kickstarter as well as being, funded by investors. He can get the AAA experience that he wants without having to rely solely on the community, without having to rely solely on investors. That said, and I have supported the game. I've given $60 to the game to get the physical copy of the game.
I want to do that, but
it's my whole stipulation. This is the thing, though, is with Kickstarter you can withdraw your backing at any time. You don't have to continue backing the game.
Any time.
I put $60 down to show my support for the game, and that to show that I wanted this game to exist, and I want to support this man's endeavor. And if within 30 days they don't show actual in-game screenshots or gameplay of any kind, I'll settle for screenshots as long as they are confirmed in-game screenshots. I'm withdrawing my $60 because I donated money to Mighty Number 9 because of the hype train, and thanks to Inafune and Concept rusing me like that and just leading me along, I know now Koji has to suffer because I'm not about to be rused twice and I'm not about to risk it. It's just the problem with the industry nowadays as a whole. Like, let's look at pre-orders for games in general. Let's look at Alien Colonial Marines. Let's look at Two Worlds. Let's look at all these games that have pre-order bonus. Let's look at Arkham Origins. All these games that are like, pre-order now, give us money before the game's even out yet.
Dead Island.
Evolve. Dead Island. These are games that had pre-order bonuses and gave you incentives to buy the game before they even had first screenshots and trailers shown. And in this day and age, you can't rely on any company.
The way Dead Island made so much money is because I will say, Dead Island has probably one of the best trailers ever released.
Period.
Easily.
For any genre, for anything ever.
Best trailers ever, because it made you want to buy it, because you were bought into this whole, there's going to be a super emotional story, and that story sucked. I don't care what anyone said. Once you
it ended up being a joke of a game. The first thing you see in the game is "Who do you voodoo, bitch?"
Yeah,
like that was such a culture shock, because I was going into this expecting some sort of somber Last of Us style storytelling pacing, and then "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" I was like, oh, okay.
Let me move on, and then all the in-game screenshots that were ever shown on IGN or on Game Informer were pretty much all of the first level, and the first level is gorgeous. It is beautiful.
Oh my God.
And then you move to the second level, and it's ugly. You move to the sewer level, and of course it's ugly. You move to the prison level, and it's ugly. You move to the jungle level, and it looks like the jungle from fucking GoldenEye. It's hideous, and the gameplay is boring, and it's the best part of that whole game. Best part of the whole game is cars, because cars don't die.
Well, the best part of that whole game is the honeymoon phase. Like, it's a game that sucks you in. Like, for the first couple hours, you're like, wow, this game actually is really good.
And then you get
then the gameplay gets super fucking boring, and the game's environments get super fucking lazy and bland, and the story just decides it doesn't want to exist anymore. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is an industry that is totally content with just content. Sorry. This is a game that's totally content with just showing you a couple misleading screenshots or demos, lying to your face, giving you a reason to pre-order a game before you even see gameplay, and then just selling you whatever. And then saying, sorry,
that's the scary part. Like,
we've been burned so many times. It's not the consumer's fault. It's like the consumer just want to support things that they're excited for, and that's understandable. But it's gotten to the point to where they don't deserve our trust. Even a consistent studio like Gearbox, the developers of Borderlands, created Aliens Colonial Marines. Yeah. They had their name on that box. Granted, they made Duke Nukem Forever too, but that's an understandable thing considering most of that wasn't even them. That was just,
it wasn't a them thing, you know.
That was just them like sprucing up and then releasing a old, broken, unfinished game. Which was stupid, but that wasn't that. I don't remember what publisher. I think that was like 2K or some shit.
I think so.
But like with Colonial Marines, it was like that. The company that made Borderlands 1 and 2, like them or hate them, those are two highly regarded, highly polished games.
Yes.
And then they come out with Colonial Marines. You can't trust anybody in this industry anymore.
And I've had my own experience. I've had my own experience getting burned by Kickstarter as well. Luckily, he fixed it with Bear Simulator by FarJ Studios. Like, I donated $15 to get the game, and I showed Andrew before we started talking. The damn thing comes out now. It looks like a fucking Oblivion mod. It's ugly, but it's fun. But the problem is, we didn't get an update, or I didn't get an update rather, for about a year. Like, the last update was like on September 23rd, and then the next time he updated was like March 4th of 2015. Like, for a long time. He's updating it now, but I think that's after about 3,000 people reported him for not updating ever. So it's hard to not get sucked into this whole don't pre-order thing when you see stuff like Bear Simulator, which is so stupid it's hilarious. You see stuff like Mighty Number 9 that appeals to your nostalgia factor. You see stuff like Yooka-Laylee, Bloodstain, and I mean, I love those games. Are probably going to be really good, but you still got to put them in. The majority, the reason that I don't care what anyone says, the reason that Yooka-Laylee got funded so quickly, nostalgia.
Thank you, Christian.
You tell me, yeah, like that. Like,
I mean, no one's going to deny that. Even the people who donated $3,000 to the project will tell you it's nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who's working on it? Rare. And I mean, I even told, when we first started talking about it, I'm excited for David Wise, because David Wise composed Donkey Kong Country. I love them.
And we all know how much.
I mean, even people who support Mighty Number 9 and don't want to say it's flawed at all to this day and just want to defend it blindly, even they'll tell you that they support it because of nostalgia. That's why everyone supported it. No, that's not even like something that people are debating on. It's this there's just this huge, it's fucked, man.
Oh yeah.
Developers and publishers aren't held accountable enough, and the general public isn't listening enough. Because, I mean, just look at Bloodstain. I mean, Mighty Number 9 has this huge scandal, and that's not even involving any of the other scandals, just like the visual design itself and the lacking aspects, and then the less refined gameplay and the demos that they've been releasing.
And the 3 Kickstarters that they put
and
out.
the multiple Kickstarter extensions and
Come
everything.
on, like, you don't do that.
Well, that's the, like, not only all of that, but it's just, there are so many people who just were burned by that. And even though it does have its fair share of hardcore supporters, like I said, there are still plenty of people who are just like, wow, fuck this, I'm so glad that I didn't donate, or I wish I didn't donate, like myself, I wish I didn't donate to that game.
And I'm glad.
But then people go ahead and are just like, I'm gonna give Bloodstain like $1 billion, and then just support it no matter what. Well, are you gonna at least withdraw if something doesn't happen, if they don't show gameplay? No. Well, what about what happened with Mighty Number 9? It's not gonna happen this time. No one wants to admit that they're a fool.
Oh yeah,
there are people who defended Aliens: Colonial Marines when it came out, even though it was a mess. Why? Because no one wanted to believe that they got the game that they paid $60 on before it even launched. They didn't want to admit that they were wrong. No one wants to admit that they're a fool. No one wants to admit that they're a donkey. Everyone wants to be right.
And the thing is, like, we're not bashing Kickstarter as a whole.
It's not Kickstarter's fault. Kickstarter wasn't made specifically for games. Games just went to Kickstarter. It's just, I feel like there needs to be some sort of prerequisite.
Kickstarter. There is plenty of good examples of Kickstarter. You have Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight is literally, like, Shovel Knight should just be Kickstarter's, like, mascot. Because, like, that game is literally what a Kickstarter is. Like,
did you know you can play Shovel Knight and cook Surf Delicious?
That's literally what it is. Like, Shovel Knight is Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that.
And what's funny is even in the game it makes fun of Kickstarter. It's hilarious.
And the game makes fun of Kickstarter. The game, like, has its own stage for backers. Like, that's Kickstarter.
It's just, and it's a shame that those games are few and far between. It's like Steam Early Access, which is a different can of worms entirely, but it's just, you have these few games that really use the service really, really well and show just how awesome it is when used correctly. And then you have, for every one game like that, you have a dozen that just abuse it and use it horrendously. And some of these games in Kickstarter, some of the best games that use the service properly and have awesome concepts aren't being funded because they don't have a Kenji Inafune working on it. They don't have a Koji working on it. They don't have previous Rare members working on it. They don't have a spiritual successor to a nostalgic IP to get people to just spend money on it.
they just want to make a game, and they're putting their heart and soul into it, but nobody's funding it because
Bear Simulator only made $100,000.
it's literally either because they're scared or because
No,
it just doesn't
it's
have
just
backers
because
like.
no one. It's not because they're scared. They just can't get money.
Mhm.
It's stupid.
Because
Like-
all I have to do, Reno, is like, hey man, like say you have two of the same exact damn game, like two Mega Man games. Okay, well this Mega Man game has Kenji and Fuani on it. This one's just a fan game. And ain't nobody gonna go towards that
Which
fan
one
game.
you
They're
gonna
all gonna
choose?
go towards the Kenji one.
Like,
They're all gonna go towards the Kenji one. And you could do that with any developer. It's like, hell, let's take something recent, like Hideo Kojima. It's like, hey, we have a stealth game, but this one has Hideo Kojima working on it. It doesn't matter if that stealth game has no damn stealth at all. Like it's literally just shit in your hand simulator. And
if
it's throwing
someone
a
went to me,
pie.
someone went to me and told me, I'm making a spiritual successor to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I would fund it instantly.
But then it would be Skullgirls.
We're not going to talk about
Because
that.
that's what Skullgirls was.
Okay, next topic.
Okay, but like,
Actually,
in closing, it's just it's a shame the state of the industry. It's a shame that both AAA you can't trust anybody. Before it was, well, you can't trust AAA publishers. Now you have to trust the indies. Well, now the
Yeah,
indies
oh
have
my-
burned us so much. Now it's you can't trust anybody. I wish that
I feel
there.
like we can't talk
and-
about Kickstarter without at least briefly mentioning Double Fine.
Double
Yeah,
Fine Weird Beast.
Broken
Like, I have
Age. Broken Age specifically. I haven't kept up with the other Kickstarters that they've done, but Broken Age as a whole, they got millions of dollars for Double Fine and Double Age or Broken Age Part 1. And that game was something that basically validated in the public's eyes that Kickstarter was a valid way to fund video games and was a good way for the industry to move forward for indies. And then the game came out, it was an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and it was only part 1, and then they went back and they needed double the money just to make the second half of the game.
Apparently, like, what's his name? Imagine what it's expensive.
I'm not gonna say Tim Schafer's a fuckboy because he's a smart man.
Tim Schafer is a fuckboy.
He
Oh,
made
yeah.
Grim Fandango. He's a smart man.
It's
Yeah,
Grim,
he also made
Grim
Grim
Fandango
Fandango.
Remastered was also bugged as shit at launch. So
I
I
mean,
don't even think it's
Now
the
isn't the
same,
time to be using the special ceremonial bread. But what I'm saying is, his mind
Six
is
people
smart.
who got that reference.
that's the.
I wouldn't mind.
It's just like,
Bread.
God, let's not talk about that because I don't know.
Yeah, like,
the six.
We're-
That's
we're
an example. That's an example of Kickstarter being shitty as well.
we're actually going too far into this.
All right, let's talk about something else before I go on to an entirely separate rant about why I hate Tim Schafer.
Actually,
Let's
let's move into since we've talked about early access already. I want to talk about this. It's kind of bouncing off our list a little bit, but Ark Island got announced today, and what is essentially called Jurassic Park, but with MMOs.
Yeah, do you watch the trailer for this, Reno?
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna just look it up. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, just look it up. Essentially, Ark Island is.
Yes, Ark Island is a type of archipelago, often composed of chain of volcanoes
God
with arcs
damn it.
aligned.
Yes,
God damn it!
Steam
It's-
early access.
Ark is it's a Steam Early Access game, but it's also coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. And they posted a trailer. I want to say 1-2 days ago. Maybe it wasn't today, but it was like 1 or 2 days ago. And it's essentially prehistoric Rust if Rust was actually finished.
So means you like dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, like essentially you start off on an island, prehistoric
Okay.
times, and
Okay.
there are other survivors
Prehistoric.
there. It can be co-op or competitive if you want to go on online servers or just have a server with you and your friends. And you basically just have to try and make your own village and civilization and survive against dinosaurs, dragons, and all sorts of crazy shit.
It's pretty high.
You can kill dodo birds and have dodo
That's-
birds as pets.
That's literally
And
like,
you can
the selling-
ride the dinosaurs.
like the selling point was just said to me. Dodo birds.
Le dodo has arrived.
Reno gonna
Like,
get the game and just have an army of dodo birds.
I
Dude,
would
that'd be
not
so hype.
fucking-
Could you imagine, like, just training dodo birds, and then whenever a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex just barges through your gates, just have your dodo birds kill the shit out of it? Evolution, bitch.
That'd be the most hard. That'd be the most broken. What if that was like the most broken tactic in the game?
Dude, I'd be so
Like Sword
happy.
Rush, but with Dodo Birds.
The day that they release a patch that nerfs Dodo Birds, if Dodo Birds ends up being overpowered, is the day I stop playing the game.
I'm canceling this.
Or I'll just play offline and never update, ever.
Fear me, for I am Thede, god of the Dodo.
But that game looks super fucking hype. And again, like, before it goes into Steam Early Access, you have fairly finished looking code running stably. Well,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
get...
so good.
It looks so fun. It's a really fresh take on this whole survival, because I feel like the latest thing for every indie series is survival in some way. But you don't.
Did you see Goat City, the first survival game that's on Steam that's not in early access?
Yeah, because that's the huge thing. The huge thing is we have a survival game, and usually it's either zombies
I bet I
or.
could go on Steam right now and go through there and watch. Actually, I'll do it right now. I bet I can go through the wish list, like what do you think should happen, and almost every one of them will be survival. I'll do it right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a really enticing genre, and Ark seems like one of the few games that's going to do something interesting with it. A lot of people draw parallels to Rust, myself included, but it's got a lot going for it that Rust straight up doesn't have. Watch the trailer. Did you watch the trailer, dude?
I can't see anything. It won't I search it up and nothing comes up.
I'm gonna have to actually Google this shit.
Anyway, but I think that can lead into a small discussion on early access in general.
I mean, my thoughts on early access are the same as my thoughts on
Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, except it's even easier to abuse because Steam doesn't have any semblance of quality control at all.
They have some. Like you just have to.
It doesn't
really
exist.
Offensive.
It doesn't exist.
Like you have to be really offensive to get caught. Like
there is literally a fucking game on Greenlight called Kill the Faggot.
Nope, it got taken off.
Oh.
But that's the thing. Like that game shouldn't have even been able to be on Greenlight unless someone like if they had true quality control, if they had good quality control, it would have been off. It would have never even been on there. But they let these things on there and take care of the problem after it's a problem. That's so fucking stupid.
But on the flip side,
they're gonna have megalodons.
Swag
in Ark.
But on the flip side,
seriously, I want to know about these dodo birds, but no one I can't find it.
If you just look at the trailer, like the trailer has like 10 seconds.
Can't find anything about Ark Island.
Oh my god, I'll show you after the thing.
Yeah, literally
just tell you after we're done.
But Ark Island's on our list.
Then you have the flip side, where you have stuff like Ark Island, which Ark Island's not even released yet.
Ark
I know it's kind of funny and it's kind of funny that we're all buying into the Ark Island hype after slamming on buying into hype before games. But you have stuff like Ark Island, which looks primarily finished. You have stuff like
and it's the trailer was running on live online gameplay.
Dinosaurs.
Not some weird ass build, not pre-rendered. It was running on live online gameplay.
Mm-hmm. And then you have stuff like God damn
it. I typed in ARC, not AR. God damn it.
You're an idiot.
No, it's literally
and then
it's in the Skype chat. You should be able to just copy and paste it. This isn't rocket science.
Says ARC.
Oh, well then Christian's an idiot.
What?
But, in terms of, like, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it looks fucking amazing. So.
But when it, like on their early access thing, but on the flip side of the coin, you have people like, if you want, that's more of a beta, Tripwire Interactive's Killing Floor 2, which is pretty much finished. They're just doing beta testing. And then you also have my pride and joy,
early access,
which is never going to be finished ever.
Yeah, it's never going to be finished, but it's constantly updated, like all the time. So
like early access is a good, like, it's a good way to, like, it's a good way to beta test.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's
it is not a good way.
A lot of people don't treat it like a beta test, though. It's just the problem. A lot of people just treat it like basically an easier to abuse Kickstarter.
At least that way you get the game.
Well, well, I guess.
I mean, it's not too bad. Well, I mean, it's bad, but But yeah, that's the problem with the reason that Overgrowth is never going to get finished is because he doesn't release huge updates at a time. He does like one thing, works on one thing, tests one thing, and then puts it in, which I don't like that. But it's cool to see it like this
I
one
mean,
guy.
at least he's updating. That's the important thing. Like, I don't give a shit if it takes you years to finish your game, as long as you're constantly having a dialogue with.
Good fucking game.
As long as you're making it a good game, as long as you're having a dialogue with your fans and supporters, and as long
And
as
that's
you're
what he does.
consistently
Like, I get
updating
emails.
the game, as
Like,
long
I
as you're
get
not pulling a
emails from him.
Starbound and not updating for a year and then
Starbound's
coming out of
actually-
nowhere and then being like, oh man, we're finally updating. Like,
No, more like Towns, where Towns just like, fuck it. Like that's literally what happened with Towns.
well, a lot of
Towns
people want to
just-
act like Starbound's developers should get off the hook because eventually they update it. That's not the point. You're
No,
supposed
the
to
point
keep. They promised
Yeah.
that they would have monthly updates, at least in a blog post. If it wasn't a game update, they would at least tell people what they were working on. They didn't do anything. No communication of anything for a year.
Just like Doom 4.
And they fired their community manager.
Just like Doom 4.
Let's talk about
I
Doom
would-
4. That's not even
Yeah,
early access. That's not really
I don't
related.
care
No,
if
it's
it's
not
not
really
early
related. Stop.
care.
Stop.
No,
I hate all of you.
you didn't pay $60.
Yes, I did.
Oh, so you also know how painful it is for Wolfenstein New Order, and they say, "Hey, you'll get the core. You'll get it."
I'm not
later,"
some
and
fucking
you never
idiot
get it.
that I didn't pre-order a fucking game for the
Guys are
beta
like
for another game. I
cheating.
pre-ordered Wolfenstein because I wanted Wolfenstein.
I pre-ordered because I wanted my Doom 4, baby.
You're a fucking idiot.
Baby.
Let's talk about squids now.
Yeah, what are we talking about next? God damn, fuck you,
Fucking,
Christian.
okay, this one, I want to name this topic specifically a squid-tastic topic.
All right, so.
That's not Splatoon or Yoshimitsu.
No, because like what it is.
All right, so okay, we're talking about Splatoon again.
Oh, I thought
Like,
we were talking about
What are your
It's
guys'
Splatoon.
opinion? No, oh, shut up. What are your guys' opinions of how did you guys after playing the beta or the demo, the global playtest, what do you guys think about Splatoon?
I think it's fun.
Did you play the demo?
No, I got to watch it.
Oh, what about you, Reno?
I was at work and
Oh, what? Wait,
What about you, Reno?
I got-
no, Reno, that shouldn't have been a problem. I mean, it's a demo. It's available 24/7, isn't it?
I got stuck in
Right.
traffic, and then
Yeah.
I came home, and it wasn't time for me to play the demo, and then I sat and realized why Nintendo is.
Yeah, the demo was only available for 3 hours in 1 hour increments at 3 separate times. I think one of them was like 4 to 5 a.m.
Yeah,
PT
I ain't waking up.
Pacific
I ain't waking
time.
up.
One of them was like 10 to 11 Pacific
Yeah.
time, and then another one of them was noon to something Pacific time. And I worked. I mean, I could have played the 4 to 5, but then I would have been, because I have to leave for school at 6, so I would have literally had to have stayed awake until 4, played until 5, gone to sleep for an hour, and then gone to school for finals, and then have my entire day of work after that. So fuck that.
Stupid.
Only fuck. And I've heard people say, "Well, it's a stress test." That's not how stress tests are conducted.
You don't put stress.
Keep in mind the
literally
game is
time
fucking
of the day.
godlike. Keep in mind that the game is fucking godlike from what I hear and from what I've seen. Like, it's not a bad game at all. It's just
Oh,
Nintendo touched it.
even-
No one knows.
even last-
No one knows. Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
really good.
Okay, okay. You play a game for an hour. Does that make you an expert on the game? No, that's a first impression. That's literally the pre-order thing. That's literally
Well,
like you
well,
see
okay.
concept art, you see
First,
screen like you,
watching the trailer and it's like, okay, whatever.
that's the thing. No one knows what this game is like. People are saying that they have opinions on it, what's good and what's bad and what's overpowered, what's not overpowered. You don't know. You played the game for like 5 matches and then the server shut down. There was
Well,
nothing
first
learned from
impressions
this.
I see from the game are pretty godlike. We're not gonna know anything, of course, because it's a stress test.
You can't. Here's
Like,
my thing
my-
on stress tests.
That's
Here's the
not
thing
the-
on the stress test. You can't stress test something on non-peak hours of the day.
Like,
Hey,
no,
we're gonna
like,
stress test it where like 5,000 people are up.
here's my deal with
Not
the
only
game.
that, but they only gave people 1 day to prepare for the stress test. Stress tests are announced weeks in advance. They're announced for multiple hours, not just 1 hour, and they're announced for more than just a couple days, not just 1 weekday.
Imagine if an MMO. Imagine if like a Realm Reborn did a stress test. When they do stress tests for MMOs, they open it for a weekend and just keep it open. and then they close it. That's fine. That's normal. But you can't just do stress tests at the
Well, that, and they didn't say it was a
thing.
stress test. They said it was a global play fire. They didn't even use test in the or play test. It was either test fire or play fire or something.
Some shit.
That's the thing is that they didn't market it like a test like a stress test. They marketed it like it was going to be a playable beta demo of sorts.
And no one, almost anybody.
No, and there were a lot of regions like in the EU region and in the Japanese regions. I was actually like watching live streams. People took forever to finally find matches because no one was online.
Yeah, because most people aren't online at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, time zone differences, obviously. But the thing is, like...
There's only one time zones, and those are the ones in America.
There are multiple time zones in America, too. But it's just like... It's so stupid. Nintendo couldn't even do a beta, a demo right. I don't understand how they fucked that up. It's
a dumb way to do it. While the game may be great, like you said, that's on first impressions. Like, there are a lot of games where I played for the first 45 minutes and I thought they were amazing, and vice versa. There are games I played for the first 45 minutes and I thought they sucked.
I mean, look at Destiny. Destiny's beta lasted, what, like a week?
Yeah.
And after that week, everyone was hyped. People had a few negative things to say here and there, but everyone thought the game was going to be fucking amazing. And then the game comes out, and now it's infamous for being one of the most underwhelming, most anti-hype games of all time for release. And this is coming from a fan of the game. A lot of people fucking hate the game for what it did. And that was a week-long, 24/7 beta. So people can't formulate opinions after a maximum of 3 hours of play. And that's assuming they played the demo for each hour each time it was online.
Mm-hmm. And also what I think it'll go the way of Titanfall and Evolve and will die at launch. Because it's just not supported.
It's going to be supported, just like Titanfall was going to be supported. Just like Evolve is going to be supported. But the thing is that the games were, especially Titanfall, missing features at launch that they said were going to be released later. Sound familiar with Splatoon? It's a game that by the time it finally is a fantastic game, like Titanfall's a great game now, but that's after how many updates and how many months of waiting for things?
You won't find anybody worth a damn on Titanfall.
The whole point, the entire point of a launch window is the first 2 days are supposed to be your biggest days for sales. Your biggest days for sales. If your biggest day for sales don't even have half the game complete and you straight up said, well, the other half the maps and the other 3/4 of the game modes are coming later, and the other half of the gear is coming later in free updates as we finish it, then your launch days are going to suck because no one's going to want to buy a game that's not even finished yet.
It's starting to become our SpacetoJump motto. It's okay when Nintendo.
Okay.
And you know what? I understand why they want to launch. No.
Shut up.
I understand why they want to launch in fall.
Fuck.
But they don't want to launch in fall. You don't want to compete. You don't want to have a shooter compete with Call of Duty. It's suicide. I understand why, but if the game's not finished, why bother?
And like Definitive Edition, we're launching on the same day Arkham Asylum is. It's like, we hate money.
Right. And then Capcom's just going to say, Devil May Cry fans don't want anything else in the series. No, you just launched it on the same day as one of the most hyped up games of all time.
For Splatoon, my main problem with this game, it's not the game itself, because like the game, from what I see, when I'm looking at, is a game that I would rather enjoy, something to ease the time. Iwata touched it and it was fucked up. Like Nintendo got their hands on this game, and then it just. And I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what it is like with this company, but like they're not like they're very Neanderthal.
In the stupidest ways.
And that's apparently okay by standards.
And how are you going to release a ranked mode and you really expect people to take your ranked mode seriously when you don't even release patch notes for your game that is known to be competitive?
Like, they do a lot of things, and I know someone who works in Nintendo because I've met him before.
It's my dad.
It's my father. He he told me. He was legit like, Nintendo has a method to their madness. And I was like, okay, you're going to have to say this. for what he said for the new 3DS not having chargers, he said because the embargo prices are because the price to like ship it from there to here is expensive if you include the charger. He literally said that the reason why it doesn't come with a charger is because it would cost more.
Okay, Reno, before you say anything else, I want you to... Have you ever shipped anything before?
No.
Do you have any idea how shipping something works?
Trust me.
So you don't... Okay, let's say you take two envelopes just envelopes. Literally just envelopes with paper in them, right? And one of them has really heavy, high-quality paper, and the other one just has a regular sheet of notebook paper, right? The high-quality paper, there's a couple sheets in there. It's going to weigh more than the actual envelope, right? You realize they weigh all packages and stuff before they ship it out, and the price actually gets affected by weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's how shipping things works. So when they say, well, we didn't want to include chargers because it would cost more, they literally aren't lying. That's how shipping works.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like,
I mean, yeah, the new 3DS is stupid in general, and I agree that the new 3DS is dumb, but, I mean,
It's pretty dumb.
That's a valid reason. That's something that is a method to that madness.
I think we have talked enough on this, but let's keep talking about Nintendo. And we have one more topic on Nintendo, and no, we actually have two more topics on Nintendo. But
do we really?
We might as well just.
Let's just.
Like,
this is the Nintendo section.
Nintendo.
It's the Nintendo section of the podcast. We have.
Yeah, Sega does.
We have Fire Emblem. We have Fire Emblem If.
Oh, yeah.
So Fire Emblem If I remember correctly, and going off the top of my head, it has lower difficulty, which, I mean, I don't care.
Let's start off with the game's price model itself.
I mean, like generally, you actually sucked at Awakening, so I mean, it's a good thing for you.
But I beat the Game Boy one.
I don't understand you. You
literally beat
the hardest one.
Okay, Christian beat Fire Emblem on the Game Boy, which is like the 6th one.
No,
it's considered the hardest one.
Ugh, God.
but Christian, however, cannot beat the first level of Awakening.
Which had a huge scandal because it was way easier.
I can't beat the level where you get the guy with the axe.
That's like the second level.
Third.
Same difference. It's stupid. But the whole thing about Fire Emblem If. So some new news was released today that just adds on to the issues I have with this game's and how it's being handled. Thank you, Nintendo. For one thing, you know, I'm sure everyone's aware with how it's being handled, but in case you aren't, essentially, you know how in a lot of games that have choice in the story, you just make that choice within that game, and then you just move on, and if you ever wanted to start up the game again and make another choice, you can do that, right? You just make the other choice, and there you go. Like, you have one Renegade playthrough of Mass Effect, and then you'll have a Paragon playthrough of Mass Effect. Well, in this game, there are two different paths you can... There's one particular... I think it's like halfway through the game, or a little under halfway through the game. You have to make a decision as to which kingdom you decide with. And that determines what game you're in. But instead of being able to decide which faction you're in, you have to buy that game. For one kingdom, there's the one game, and for the other kingdom, you buy the other game.
Mm-hmm. Retarded.
And the third story arc path is DLC. In Japan, they have a special edition where you can get all three of them for like $80 or something, and it comes with an art book, I believe, and a couple other things, I'm sure. But even still, that's stupid. I guarantee you that all the Nintendo fans out there that defend this would look at Mass Effect if Mass Effect sold its Renegade and Paragon playthroughs as separate games. They would look at that and they would say that EA and fucking BioWare are the worst companies on the face of the planet, and they are literally worse than Hitler, and oh my god, what shitty business practices, but it's okay when Nintendo does it.
We are never going to get any Nintendo fans, like, ever.
I'm very okay with that.
The price model is... It's weird. It's like, you buy one game, and then you go to, like, Chapter 9, which is, I guess, like, fairly... It's like about an hour into the game.
Yeah, we don't know how long the chapters are going to be or anything, but
no, no, I'm just saying like in a general perspective of when I've played Fire Emblem games, you know.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Some of them are more exposition heavy and stuff. But regardless, it's not important.
About an hour long.
About an hour.
About an hour. So then, when you get to that point, you like choose your faction, good or evil, and then from there that's already one game. But like, but the way it works is that when you buy that specific copy of the game, you're automatically going to go to that side.
Mm-hmm. Because
you only get to make you only get to make the choice if you buy the special edition.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Other than that, then it's not a choice. You and the thing is that like the whole point of this choice being at Chapter 9 is that it's supposed to be this choice that you make after learning about both factions, because you're blood related to one of them, and then you have relatives and you were practically raised by the other one or something like that. They haven't released a lot of the specific details about the story, but you're supposed to make this decision, and it's supposed to be a tough decision that you make after getting attached to both factions in one way or another. And now the decision has to be made before you even buy the game.
I'm looking at the difference. Yeah, and basically what the difference is that the Hoshido is new, so Hoshido's easy, Nora's hard.
The black side is hard and the white side is easy or something like that, is how they explained it. Yep. And like, if the whole point of the story choice is supposed to be that it's supposed to be a gut-wrenching, hard choice to make based on story, then I'm going to buy one version of the game, end up hating that faction, and then return it just to buy the other version of the game so I can have the version that I want to play.
No, I don't think you can do that in the United States. In the United States, it's digital.
Guys, remember the time?
Are you serious?
Guys, remember the time when Nintendo made a special edition to Ruby and Sapphire, and it was literally just $80? Okay. Yeah. They made a special edition to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that had both games.
Yeah, and it had like 100, and the other bonus that was supposed to make it worthwhile was like
potions.
Yeah, it was like a stupid amount of basic potions.
Like
not even good ones.
And it was being sold for the same price as if you were just buy 2 games.
So you were literally just, I mean, they came with cool sleeves, so at least there was that. The sleeves were really cool.
You spent $80 on potions.
I mean, spending $80 on Pokemon games each gen is dumb anyway. But that's besides the point.
In comparison, when it comes to special editions, again, it's not that the Nintendo 3DS can't have good special editions, because I know you two hate anime, but Persona Q had a really good special edition.
Oh yeah, Persona special editions in general are fucking awesome.
Yeah, art book, soundtrack, tarot cards, whole shebang. It was a great special edition and a fucking bitchin' case. And, you know, I use that case to this day. But the way they're handling this in general is just potatoes, because it's just not. It's terrible. Like,
and I've seen people say that it's the cartridges. They can't handle having both games on the same disc or cartridge. That's not it, because the biggest game on the cartridge is like 4 gigabytes, which is Monster Hunter, and there's 2 gigabytes that it's not even using, that are free. It's like an 8 gigabyte max, but you can only use like 6 gigabytes of the actual cartridge. So that's 2 entire gigabytes. So unless Fire Emblem IF ends up being like the biggest game on the 3DS, which I severely doubt it will be, it has no. That's not an excuse.
Baloney.
Baloney. And like, making IF easier is stupid.
Oh, right, and that's the other thing. The other things in the game are that they're bringing back casual mode, which I have no issue with. They're including a new Phoenix mode, which casual mode in Fire Emblem Awakening was introduced. I think it was I think Awakening was the first game.
Your companions would die in casual mode. Like
they die, but they come back at the end of the match. They don't die permanently, which is the big thing about Fire Emblem, is that most characters, once you lose a unit, you know, it's gone forever. So if you spend half the game training up this unit, giving this unit beefed out armor and, you know, equipment and stuff to make it awesome, and you promote it and you get it to max level and then it dies, it's gone. Which is a big thing. It makes death important. It makes the strategy really, really important.
Fire Emblem.
And casual removed that, which is fine because it's an optional thing. It was never required.
Yeah, like,
and it basically just gave new players a way to get into the series.
Yeah, casual is like, oh, like you never played a Fire Emblem game before? That's okay. We're gonna make you do casual mode, and then after that, you're able to do hardcore mode.
And you could do that from mission 1. Veterans didn't even have to go through a tutorial with casual on. They could right from the get-go just pretend that didn't exist.
and that worked out perfectly for Awakening's case because Awakening is technically a lot of people's first Fire Emblem game. So they played casual mode, and then they liked what they played, went to hardcore mode, and then turned off and returned on their 3DS like 500 times because they don't want Frederick to die.
Yeah, I know so many people who went to hardcore mode and are like, man, I'm so glad I went to hardcore mode after casual, but I just reset my mission every time. It's like, then why aren't you just playing casual? What's the point?
I mean, like, shit.
But that's besides the point. They're also adding in Phoenix mode, which Phoenix mode is essentially a further step down from casual, and it's impossible to fail. Because after every turn, all of your units come back to life that died.
Phoenix now, I guess.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's optional, though. You don't have to play it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you have casual mode. You have the easier difficulties. Why? Is this necessary? Like, at this point, you're just insulting people's intelligence. You're literally looking at people and you're basically saying, yeah, you're too dumb to beat our game. So you have to use this.
I mean, hell, in my case, you could lower the difficulty, and for some reason, I still won't be able to beat it.
Well, that, and you're also just, like... I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. But I can't really complain about it too much because, again, it's optional. What I can complain about, and what I will complain about, is the fact that there are... they removed the ability to have item degradation, item durability.
Yeah. Like, that I don't like, because that...
And that's not optional. That's like an actual thing that's just there to stay.
That's a whole layer of strategy that they're just removing, because, like, you have to be smart about who you send.
There's no reason to S-class my weapon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why? Why trade out weapons anymore?
Like weapon proficiency, my ass. Just use the fucking stronger shit.
There's no. It's not about micromanaging your units now and your weapons, because like, oh man, I only have X amount of units, and I'm going around these enemies that need to be damaged by this. I better, send these units with this weapon, and there's that whole layer of strategy is completely gone. And people are saying, well, it's fine that they didn't do that, because in Fire Emblem Awakening, you could just buy weapons after every single mission anyway, so you always had an abundance of weapons and it didn't matter. Well, that just means that they designed it horribly in Awakening. Just because they were lazy and didn't do it right in Awakening doesn't mean they should get rid of it entirely, for one thing. And for another thing, even if they wanted to keep the universal shops to where after every mission you could rebuy weapons, just have weapons cost more, so that you're not getting as many of them. Have weapon durability be less.
Don't fuck up the economy. Like,
yeah, just have weapon durability be significantly, just whack the fuck out of it, because you're going to have more weapons, so if weapon durability isn't as, you'll run out of weapons faster. Or just give it to where, weapons have a finite amount, because, clearly an armor isn't going to stock up on thousands of swords. They're going to have eventually run out realistically, so they could just have it to where, this store...
Welcome to Newbie Sword Emporium. We got swords on swords on swords on swords. Come down here, Sword Tuesday.
But it's just
get one free.
They could just make it to where, okay, they only have 20 silver swords, bronze swords. They only have 20 iron swords. They only have 20 of this. And then once they run out, then they're out. So you actually have a finite amount that you can buy and have at any given point throughout the entire game, which has a huge metagame. They could do so much with it, but instead they just decided to be lazy and remove it entirely.
Nintendo takes 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Yay!
Yay! And then our last sort of Nintendo topic, and I guess it's really quick related through, is Monster Hunter DLC came out, and if you don't have it, you should download it. It comes with the Mega Man, which is G rank, Chun-Li, which is high rank, I think.
Wait, they're actually releasing some of the DLC armor as high rank armor, G rank armor?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, because that was my least favorite thing about the Link armor and stuff in 3Us, because shit was stupid. It was bad by the time you hit HR 3.
Yeah, Link right now, the Link armor right now is actually really good. It's high rank and it's really hard to get. You have to go into your arena, fight as an ogre, a Kirin, and I think a Rajang.
Oh, that's super kick-ass though. That's
and
awesome.
Zenogre. I was like, and I had Zenogre armor, and I was like, I can handle this Zenogre, ain't no shit. And I walked in there with my hunting horn, what you got? And he smacked me once and killed me. I was like, all right, okay.
I just gotta hope that the Dante kitty ends up being a good kitty for endgame.
I'm sure it is. That's probably armor. That's probably armor for your cat. So I'm sure it'll be probably high rank or G rank like Mega Man is. Blanca is low rank, and me and my friend we went hunting with Blanca. Blanca ones. I think we hunted an elder dragon with Blanca cats, and they died. Like, and there's also the Metroid armor has been released, and you remember those taiko drums?
Mhm.
Those taiko drums. There's a hunting horn for the taiko drums.
Holy shit.
I get them, but they don't upgrade any, so I'm afraid that they'll quickly live out their worth. And there's also Universal Studios Japan, which is the taiko drums. So if you ain't got those, they're free. Download them, pick up Monster Hunter for you, because it's awesome and it's fun, and you can hunt with me. And I'm
gonna have to start actually playing that game again. I've actually kind of had the itch, so I think I might start doing that on breaks at work.
I would. I mean,
Getting back into
Eno's
it.
got it too, and then we'll have a little hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since that was pretty short and sweet, let's talk about Footin' games.
We
And
might
we
on a
have-
good note.
Well, we have like 5 more topics.
We have one.
We have 5 more topics. 2's not a good note, and then the last one will end on a good note.
Oh
So-
boy.
So let's
So-
talk about another squid. Yoshimitsu has confirmed, and technically kind of a squid person,
He looks
Gygus.
fucking awesome.
Oh,
Yoshimitsu.
Dude, Yoshimitsu's
literally
new
the
design is
best
fucking
Yoshimitsu.
cool.
Like, he's the best Yoshimitsu I've ever seen in any Tekken. Free. That Yoshimitsu is so cool that it excuses Splatoon being about lowly squid girls.
I think that's why Harada did it. Harada works so closely with Nintendo that he probably saw Splatoon and he's like, oh, they are ruining it.
This is fucking weeb garbage. And
I
I'm
must redeem the squid.
I must redeem the squid.
And then he's like, alright,
I
Art
was
team,
so-
we must make a Yoshimitsu squid.
I was so nervous to meet Harada when I met him. I was like, what do I do? Like, what?
So cool. He didn't speak English, but he knew I was a fan.
I was like, Reno, what do I do? I want to get a picture with Harada. He's like, just go up there and do it. I'm like, but I don't know. How do I do that? What do I do? I
You
was
literally
like,
just go up there and ask. Just show him a camera.
Like
Yeah.
I walked. I like okay. It was at final round. It's just like because we're on Tekken, we will talk about the story anyways. When I met Harada-san, it was very calm. I went up to him. I shook his hand. I was like slightly excited. I took a photo with him. I have the photo, and like it was awesome. The moment I got up to my hotel, I was like fucking yelling. I was yelling Harada-san because I fucking met Harada-san.
I was so excited.
I shook
Like,
that man's hand.
Man, I had to build up courage to go see him because I've been playing Tekken ever since I was a kid. It was actually my first, like, I would say Tekken was my first real fighting game that I ever played. Like, I know I'm a big DOA fan, but, like, I have a funny story. When I was a kid and I played Tekken with my brother a lot, I beat my brother so bad. I think I double perfected him with Paul a few times in a row, and he actually kicked me out of his room. It's like, get out of my room. You're cheating.
You know, why were you so good at games as a kid? Now you're just bad at everything.
I'm not bad at everything. I'm
Except for
just-
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I'm good at Donkey Kong Country.
That's-
You
Yeah,
can
man,
one-hand the
so
fucking... How are those single Kong
Yeah, he
games?
was-
Actually, it's a different topic. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but yeah, like I'm still like it was so cool meeting somebody who had such a huge influence on me as a child. I was like, man, I used to play these games all the time.
Harada-san, Harada-san, my brother hates me because of you.
My brother hates me because of you. Like it was so cool. Like I was like, that's so cool. I didn't
And then,
like I did. Man, that was so hype. Good times.
I'll meet him someday. I swear I will.
Just go to a fighting game tournament.
I have to be a major. He doesn't just go to locals.
Go to Combo Breaker.
He's not going to Combo Breaker.
Oh, get fucked then.
But
And I can't go anyway, so...
on the topic of Tekken 7, it's the character designs. I like them.
Oh yeah, I love Kazuya's. You know, Kazuya looking dapper as fuck. I love Heihashi's. Oh.
I love the fact that they're not using like the same designs, of course, but they're keeping like similar core gameplay things. Jin looks different. Kazuya looks different. I feel like as the game went on, like they know this is the last one in the Heihachi era, and that really like
Oh,
it
man.
pains me to
Stop.
pains
Oh, it hurts.
everyone to say.
Oh, no.
But it's okay because the sitcom is gonna come out really soon, and then it it shows that a lot of love is going into this, especially with Josie and like all these new characters. Like Claudia looks fucking dapper as shit.
Dude, Sahid
Like
looks
like
like I'm
Yeah,
Shahid is
dude.
watching.
literally based off the like beautiful Arabian guy that was like in on the news or something.
Gygus
Like
is fucking cool as shit.
Gygus is
Gygus,
literally robotic
like
Marduk. Get it?
Gygus is being hinted that it's just Marduk and like roboticized, and I'm like, I'm okay with this.
The stupider it gets, the better. Like, I love Tekken lore. It's so dumb. Like, okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but Steve Fox. Steve Fox is Steve Fox is my main. I love Steve Fox, and he is Nina Williams' son.
Oh my
So, I bet you're
god.
wondering, who's his father? Well, here's the thing. Nina Williams was
Artificially inseminated.
yeah, artificially inseminated by Dr. Boskanovich while she was in cryosleep and had Steve Fox while Nina Williams was in cryosleep. How does that even happen?
It's like the side characters always had the dumbest plots, and like the main Mishima line that the core plot revolves around has a stupid plot too. But at least it makes enough sense to where you can take it seriously and get attached to characters, and that's so. It's I don't know anything else that can do
So
that.
you
It's
see the
literally a fucking
relationship with
sitcom.
Heihachi and Kazuya. I'm so mad at my son, I threw him into a volcano.
No,
Sure,
like
okay.
his
Oh,
whole
Heihachi.
reason for throwing Kazuya off of a cliff when he was
Because he
real,
didn't
like
get his
5 years
order
old.
right.
No, it's because he was too nice. Kazuya wanted to give his kindergarten crush some candy on Valentine's Day, and Heihachi wasn't having any of that nice shit and threw him off a cliff.
That shit ain't allowed here. Like, free.
Yeah, and Heihachi's burger came with pickles, and he didn't ask for pickles.
Like
I
I
would
was
love
that's
to,
fucking
like,
eerie too.
Heihachi died. Heihachi died and was
He died
revived.
of heart. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, and he revived himself out of pure hate. He's like Jesus if Jesus was just mad all the time.
Yeah, like Tekken 5, he was in a building when it collapsed and it was blown the fuck up. And he was also shot a couple times. And then in Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, you see him
Sure,
coming
50
out
Cent.
of the rubble of the building because he was thought to be dead. And he's got this like dark aura around him. And everyone was wondering how he managed to come back to life, how he managed to survive. He was literally so pissed off that he just couldn't die. Like, fuck the Devil Gene. He's got something way worse than Devil Gene. He's got the ability to live off of pure hatred and disdain for existence.
Like, if you look on the Tekken wiki, like, its hates are like all of his family members, and his likes are like Kuma.
Yeah. His only love is his bear.
It's beautiful. Yeah, but Gygus is basically just Marduk.
Yeah, Gygus is like a grappler type character, which is awesome, because him and Dragunov are pretty much the only grapplers that the series has of any kind.
Well, no, I thought King
Dragunov
was.
is like a weird breed. He's so cool.
Yeah.
King of grapplers.
Literally a
That's true.
Dragunov.
King's beautiful. I'm excited for Tekken
King's
7.
amazing kick is pretty amazing.
And then in other fighting games, Jason has been officially released for MKX, to which, me personally, I was kind of like, meh. It was meh. I'm kind of let down.
He's a super big body that is slow as fuck and deals tons of damage and has super armor. And that's the kind of character that I like to play in fighting games, so I'm sure I'll enjoy him when I eventually end up playing as him and getting to try him out. But
playing on PC.
I'm a little disappointed by some of the things, like his fatalities don't involve super uppercutting someone's head off or shoving people in a sleeping bag and killing them.
Just a lot of missed opportunities. And
His interactions, I finally ended up looking up the interactions, and they're...
Lame.
Like, I understand
They
he's
suck.
supposed to be quiet, but even with like some characters, like me and Reno talked about it, like with Johnny Cage. Like Johnny Cage could come in and be like, I'm a fan of your work. Silence. Like, oh, I guess you're a silent type off camera too.
Like they really could have done a lot with this, but
Or with Cassie Cage. One of my favorite ones that we came up with Cassie Cage. It's like Cassie Cage, like, that girl looks like me. And then like he just sits there, like, you can't kill me first just because I'm the hot one.
Yeah.
That would have been funny, but it was just kind of.
But what about? I mean, have you played as him at all, Christian?
No, because I can't play the game at all.
Let's get the opinion from the guy who's actually put some time into the character. What do you think, Reno?
Jason is a very weird character. Like, at first glance, you think he's broken because he has a teleport. Like one of his variations has teleport.
Relentless,
Has
right?
I don't know. Like I have a teleport. Like I forget which one, but it's a relentless. Relentless has a teleport. It has a move where like it ruins your controls and inputs. It has a move where like he has like and in another one of his variations he has one where he gets a power buff and like he heals himself. And then and his universal one is that he gets super armor, but he goes to sleep after like a little while. Now, like with that kind of kit, you would think that, oh wow, this character's fucking stupid. To be honest, it really combats like the game because he's not broken at all. He's actually just he's very average.
Really?
Like he can do stuff. He's very good. Like his bread and butters are very clean and they're very easy to do and they're very good damagey. But it's like I have to see way more play of him in order for me to get.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of competitive viability, it's a bit too early to tell. But is he fun? Is he fun?
Oh, he's fucking amazing.
Well, there you go. That's the important thing.
I wouldn't know. I got it on PC.
We don't have to go. We don't have to open that up. You don't have to. Everyone knows how bad the PC port is.
The one note, Ed Boon. We all saw that damn interview where you said that the PC port would be just as good as the damn PS4 port, and you lied. You lied.
Ed Boon lines about a lot of things. It's nothing new. Let's before Christian has a meltdown. What's our next topic?
Let's have Andrew have a meltdown instead with Sega.
Oh no!
Hey! So
You did that on purpose, you swine.
I did. So,
You're a fucking asshole.
So Sega has as
Well, let me do it. This is my baby. Let me do it.
Your baby is ugly.
My baby is fucking gross. He was so cute during his infant years, and now he's growing into a gangly teenager, and I want to fucking kill him. Okay, so Sega has been grabbing a lot of news lines lately for a lot of the wrong reasons. For starters, this whole thing started with them saying that they weren't going to be at E3. They're no longer going to have an E3 booth. They have cut themselves completely out of console development, except for big titles or pre-existing titles. So like things like Atlas are going to continue being able to develop for consoles, but any first-party, actual or second-party like developers that are owned by Sega directly and operate under Sega's control will not be able to develop anything for consoles unless it's something big like Sonic, for obvious reasons.
Or anything by Atlas.
And then
Atlas, why?
they also said that they're going to finally accept that quality control is something they should look into, because they said that they're going to pull multiple games off of mobile shelves.
I can't control my game because it doesn't work.
You fucking asshole. They're basically they're taking multiple games that don't meet their quote-unquote quality standards, and they haven't specified what games yet. They're going to be taking them off of the store shelves for Android and iOS. Maybe, I don't remember if they said PSN and Xbox Live Arcade as well. I could be wrong, but definitely iOS and Android markets, because they're striving to deliver high-quality gaming experiences, which is why Sonic Boom exists.
I saw an article that said they're disappointed with the amount of sales Sonic.
Yeah, and then today they finally posted their fiscal report for last year. Sonic Boom sold 6.8 thousand or 100,000 units, 680,000. Alien Isolation sold 2,100,000 units, which was considered weak and a disappointment. Persona 4 Ultimax, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, the fighting game, the sequel to the fighting game, sold 280,000 units, and that's not enough. No, that's not enough. You know what else they said? They said that Sega is planning to release 46 new free-to-play PC and mobile games within the next year.
46 is a big number.
46 new free-to-play mobile and
By the end
PC
of this year,
games.
free-to-play Sonic Shuffle.
46.
I love it. This is great.
46. The company earned $925 million in revenue, which was somehow up 11%. Most of that came, actually it was half and half. Half of that came from physical sales and half came from digital. They earned like 0.1 billion more yen in physical sales, but
You can hear Andrew's like mind deteriorating. Like, how does this work? What happened?
But
it's just like having a kid who got all A's throughout like elementary and high school and even in college, and then once they got out of college, they just do nothing but shit in the corner and just like roll around in circles. Like, what are you doing? You have so much.
So much to do.
And after all the dust settled, after their earnings, and after their losses, and after their operating incomes were taken out, in revenue, they earned $2.96 billion, which is down 6.1% from last year. So overall, they lost 6.1% profitability.
Hey, you know what's funny? Konami needs to make good money.
Thanks for rubbing salt into my wound, friend. So Sega. Sega's fucking dead. Sega is dying. They've been dying for a few years now, and any semblance of the glory days is gone, dead, rotting in the corner. And as a Sega fan, I feel like killing myself. There is no happiness to be had. And the future for Sega is that we get a bunch of shitty free-to-play and mobile games. Because that's what everyone wanted, right? 46 fucking free-to-play mobile games.
I used to have Sonic Dash on my phone, and I used to enjoy it a lot, but by God, they just don't optimize that thing like, at all.
It used to be optimized.
Sonic Dash is a weird game because they don't...
You know that game used to be optimized? And then they released a patch that actually ruined the optimization somehow. I'm not joking.
How do you do that?
I'm not joking.
How do you do that? That's impressive.
Yeah. And then we have Sonic Runners as the latest Sonic game. It's Sonic Dash but side scrolling. And it's pay to win.
And so what I think's gonna happen is I think they're gonna do an auction similar to THQ when they die.
Yep.
Because it's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, essentially.
Nintendo will take Sonic.
Nintendo's going to take Sonic, Square Enix is going to take Atlas, and then Atlas is going to die a slow and painful death.
I think Shenmue will, unfortunately...
Oh no, don't!
I think Shenmue has one of two fates. It will either A, just go in obscurity and never be seen again, and never finish, or B, be picked up by a Western company. I really think that's one of the two options. I think it'll be picked up by a Western company. Oh no! Yakuza! Damn it! Man.
Falling to the night.
No, we don't. We're not copywriting this video.
You dream again in the light.
Not that.
Wait for a storm to rise.
That's what's gonna happen. Is that's basically gonna go the same way as THQ, where they just auctioned off.
And feel the isolation fleeting.
That's even worse because Alien Isolation was an amazing game, and it just...
It sold 2.1 million units.
I know.
But I guess that's weak sales.
I mean, Sega should probably shit their pants about it. It's like, we have
a game that sold 1 million units? What the fuck? This is amazing. Oh, wait, never mind. 620,000 units are the combined sales of both the Wii U, Sonic Boom game, and the 3DS. So separately, they each sold less than that.
Failed.
I mean, those games are bad and they didn't deserve to sell, but even still, that's just...
They sold.
And what's even worse is Sonic Boom, the cartoon, is amazing.
And it's on so early in the morning that no one watches it, and they're not gonna give it renewed seasons.
So good. So
it's gonna
good.
die, just like
No, it's
everything
not.
else.
Don't say things like that.
I mean, it is. I thought you. Do you ever think that Eggman is always plots about? You think Eggman's up to something? I try not to.
I try not to. Hey, don't yell at her like that. Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it? Look at you angrily and say yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Your Honor, I object. On what grounds? We're losing.
We're losing.
What is the one like? I'll catch you if my middle name's not Clarence. I thought your middle name was the.
Oh, Sonic Magnificent Hedgehog. I thought your middle name was the.
Sonic, level with me. What's going on with you and Amy?
I love
Sonic, bro, level with me.
So okay, so we've already got that sadness out of the way.
Are we all agreeing that I should just kill myself?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I have your.
No, fuck you. I'm having my psychogenesis buried with me.
So, and the other fiascos that have happened over the past 2 weeks, we also have GTA 5 and Dark Souls 2 both banning players for mods. Dark Souls 2 being a little bit less.
Yeah.
So, as I figured what happened, because as much as I'm not a huge fan of GTA 5, but I love Rockstar. Rockstar is one of my favorite developers. Bully is one of my favorite games. San Andreas, I still believe to this day is the best one. You know, I even played Oni a little bit when it came out. There's some trivia for you. And
dude,
yeah,
those fucking ping pong games that they made were godlike.
Yeah, the Rockstar ping pong, those were amazing. And so what went on was what I figured happened is that GTA 5 was banning people who had single player mods. And what I believe was happening was that they just put in an anti-cheat and it went a little bit too far and they didn't overly do it, which I mean at this point in the game GTA 5 is known for releasing things that don't really work.
That's the thing. And it was the same thing with Dark Souls. It was just like a soft ban thing.
Well, I actually read up on Dark Souls. What happened with Dark Souls isn't that you couldn't just completely go online. It was that the people that you played online with were the only people who also had the mod with you. But I mean, I imagine since Dark Souls 2 fixes it's recommended before it's like daily permission. Before you even play Dark Souls 2, put in Dark Souls 2 fix. That's one of those things. So I can't imagine that the pool was that small, but I'm sure it was smaller. It was just a soft ban. And I mean, it's one of those things, it's a blanket. And as much as people don't like blanket terms, it's things like that you can't always circumvent. Like, hey, it's going to happen. You know, and like most people who play Dark Souls 2 on PC will tell you, why don't you have Dark Souls 2 fixed to begin with?
Yeah. It's a slippery slope thing, you know? I mean...
Because it's going to ruin anybody's experience if you go online on GTA 5.
This isn't the first time that we've seen companies...
If someone was shooting cars at me, I'd fucking die of laughter, okay? I don't want to, like...
Right? That would be the funniest shit.
But that's...
Like
they need to have, like, specific... like, when you go on online, you can click to play with mods and without mods.
It wouldn't be... It's just, like I said, though, it's one of those things where it might be funny to us, but if you have somebody, and there are people who take GTA 5 online really serious. I don't know why. I think they're dumb because chaos.
It's GTA.
Yeah. Like, I'm still, like, GTA 4 online was one of my favorite things. Like, you could just go on there and just mass chaos. I stole a bus once, and I just drove through everybody, just screaming things at them. Like, your mother's a whore! And just kept driving. And, like, it took a whole group of people to take me out on this bus. Stuff like that is what GTA is all about. So even if you go online and with this whole... The fuck?
Fuck you, Reno.
No.
Right?
It was Reno.
Oh, it wasn't. My phone's on silent.
It had to have been either your phone or Christian's.
It was Rockstar for banning us.
Rockstar banning us. Fuck me.
But yeah, but that's just one of those things that you can't really fault them for. They're just doing that to prevent because there are some people who take it really seriously.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's how many times have we seen? I mean, we've seen EA and Ubisoft both implement systems that are supposed to be anti-cheat systems that go too far and end up banning people for the stupidest reasons.
Mhm.
Because it's an automated system. They keep. People don't. Companies aren't learning from their mistakes. It's really stupid.
Mhm.
I understand why things are done the way they are. It's just a matter of, well, I don't know.
It's a dumb thing to do, but at the same time, it's like you can't really fault them at the same time because it's like you do have a majority of people do take it really seriously.
Damn
like,
it! It's single player, and I was playing as a fucking bird. I was playing as a goddamn pigeon, and I got banned. This is stupid.
I guess for me it wouldn't matter because I don't play online that much. Like if I don't have to, like for GTA 5, when I do get it on PC, I'll probably just play single player exclusively and then mod the hell out of it and play as a bird and go around and set people on fire.
Shoot fucking birds out of a bird gun as a bird.
That sounds type of shit, by the way.
That's right. Oh my god, please.
That's the actual sequel to that bird.
Birdemic 3, bitch.
Oh, look at the pretty little. Ah! Cool.
But yeah, the whole modding scandal, it's just, I don't know, it's a minor thing. And it's understandable where the companies are coming from, but it's also just like, at this point...
What's really cool is that Rockstar actually released a statement saying, we are really sorry, we didn't mean to do that, we've always been very embracing of...
It took them long enough, though. They literally, like, for like a month, they just didn't say anything. And that's why it became a huge scandal, is because they didn't say anything
and
for
I think
a long...
it's because it's so out of character for them. Because they're very...
They've always been really involved.
Yeah, and it was so out of character. But when they did release a statement, they said, we're very sorry about it. We've always embraced our single player. We still have fond memories of the GTA 4. I think it was like the zombie invasion mod and people turning off the friction for their cars. You know, we still have very fond memories of this. And we are very sorry. We apologize. And they fixed it. The Dark Souls 2 went from software is basically like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's just because it's
PC. Explain to me exactly. Like Dark Souls 2 made them like the modders modded the game to work better.
Yeah, people because basically like the ports were so shitty. The ports were so shitty that you basically needed this mod called DS and DS2 fix for each Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 respectively.
Okay, yeah.
Just to make the game run decently and without bugs out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically they were being punished.
In order to get Blighttown to work well at all, it's recommended that you play it on PC with a high-end PC because it is poorly. Oh yeah, Blighttown is an ass area, and there's not a single person in the Dark Souls fan base who won't tell you that. Blighttown is the worst part of Dark Souls 1, and with Dark Souls 2, basically the ports were so bad that it's almost like Andrew said, it's mandatory to have these damn fixes because if you don't, you're not gonna have fun. You're probably gonna get crashes. You're probably gonna get butts for everything. So not having these fixes on there is basically like playing it.
But then if you have these fixes on, the game was actually soft banning you and only allowing you to play with other people with that mod.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb.
There was durability glitches, and there was also.
Which again, like you say, that's dumb, and it is kind of dumb. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's just making it because you could also mod in weapons and stuff, and it's basically it's just stopping people from. No, it's
shit.
They should.
No, it's not. It's blanket. It's not dumb. It's blanket.
It's a blanket thing to where it's like they should have just fixed their game to where DS2 wasn't even required to begin with. But at the same time, it's just stopping it. The modding policy is just stopping people from modding in a godlike one-hit kill weapon and unkillable armor with stupid stats that they bugged out. Mm-hmm. And then just going into PvP with people who haven't modded and fucking their day up because it's just a mod. It's making it to where only the people who modded that armor in can only play with other people who have modded that armor in.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things like, why? It's not a matter of like, oh, that's stupid. It's a matter of why don't you have this anyway? Like,
oh yeah,
why don't you have this fixed?
Like, I won't be surprised
you can't really, you can't
support.
It's just Dark Souls 2 fix shouldn't exist.
Oh yeah,
there should be no reason for it to exist, but sadly there is because From Software is incompetent.
I won't be surprised if we see like another fix for MKX, a mod somewhere.
Yeah. At
I
this
won't be
rate,
surprised. At this rate,
they're giving the community enough time to where they might as well just fix it themselves.
But and finally,
So okay, so I did. No,
good
since you brought
top.
that shit up, I did my own research
Oh,
on it.
come
And remember how
on.
you said earlier how it was Unreal Engine 3? Yeah, at first I thought it was my computer because I don't have the most top of the end computer. I have a
Reno, see
pretty
what
good
you've
computer.
done.
But oh, this is bullshit. It's on Unreal Engine
Screening,
3. That's horseshit. I can run Wolfenstein:
screening
The New Order
something good
on
about
Ultra.
Tony
This
Hawk
is
Pro
horseshit.
Skater 5.
This is what you've done. No, this. Fuck. Can't work with these people.
Rumps.
I mean, you don't play this shit.
Get over it.
No.
This is what you get for pre-ordering a fucking PC game like an idiot.
I am sorry that I pre-ordered Mortal Kombat, a game that you two fuckboys know I have a history with.
You don't have to pre-order it!
Yes, I did!
Pre-order it. And, like, I pre-ordered it. I
Yeah, you
pre-ordered
pre-ordered
Super-
the physical collector's edition, something that you had a reason to pre-order. You had a reason to pre-order it because you were getting a limited copy of, edition of the game. Not only that, but you were pre-ordering the console version. You can refund that. This dumbass
To be fair, the MK9 port is really good.
That's not a to be fair.
Yes, it is, because
You
MK9
get no
port is
sympathy
great.
from me.
Like, what you just said is literally like, well, I mean, it's not so bad.
The MK9 port's great.
Have we not been through the whole? Well, Gearbox made Borderlands 1 and 2, and then they made Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just one.
Grumps.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was announced.
Ollie,
Yay! I mean,
right.
Tony Hawk and Robomoto, because when HD came out, that was essentially Activision's way of testing to see if Tony Hawk was a viable thing to bring back. And it sold well enough that Activision said yes, it sold well enough to warrant them making another game. And then they were kind of quiet on it, because I think that released in like 2011, 2012.
I think so, yeah.
A long ass time ago.
I'll
And then they were just really quiet about it. They were talking about like some small iOS games that they were making here and there. And then they finally came out, and Tony Hawk announced Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 coming to PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360, PC, everything.
Galactus as an unlockable character.
Dude, that'd be so hype.
2012, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have more classic Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 through 4 style gameplay, and physics, schmizics are the name of the game. You're gonna have custom skaters. It's gonna have the same art style from Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD, which is gorgeous style. It's gonna have, like I said, the mission structure of the classic games.
They've already announced some characters. Tony Hawk, obviously. Unfortunately, no 900 Hawk, but Riley Hawk will be in it. No 900.
We'll make 900 Hawk, don't worry.
Nadia Houston, Aaron, I'm going to slaughter every one of these names. Hamaki, Ishad, fuck it, Chris Cole.
I think he was also saying,
Gonzalez.
I think Tony Hawk was also saying something about being able to, there was some kind of like, conceptually, maybe the ability to like, scan yourself into the game like you could with a couple of the NBA 2K games at one point.
Man, I would love to just like
that
scan
would be
myself.
so fucking funny because it would turn out like shit, and I know it would.
God, those NBA 2K ones are nightmares. That's like Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh man. But yeah,
Coming
I mean,
up to get to the next half pipe. It's oh Jesus Christ!
Who let that thing on?
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
There are some people who are actually really negative about this because it's being made by Robomoto, and people think that HD was complete ass. I mean, HD was just rushed.
I don't think it's ass. I thought it was fun.
It's definitely got its fair share of flaws for physics and stuff, but it's not a horrible game, and it shows that Robomoto has the capability to make a fantastic game if given full budget and full reign to do whatever the hell they want. So I'm definitely confident in it, but the another thing that was making people really pissed off is that they also said that there were going to be some, and they were really vague, they haven't shown gameplay or anything like that, but they were saying like, oh, well, some of the objectives are going to involve projectiles. Which people are like, oh man, Activision just turned it into Call of Duty.
No, it'll probably be similar. It'll probably be similar to what they
Oh
did
no, that was
Tony
horrible.
Hawk's with Thug.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's just gonna be like it was with Underground, and I think they even had a couple in American Wasteland.
Yeah.
And
I like Project
like
8. I thought Project 8 was enjoyable.
I haven't played Project
I
8.
want
Proving Ground was the last one that I played in the actual like Tony Hawk
is
series.
like, I mean, like I'm pretty sure like Underground and Project 8 have been done to the point where it's like literally a pro skater game, just 3D and open world kind of dealio.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ever said if it was going to be open because I know Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 through 3. It's just you have the level, you play that level. It has objectives and stuff. You have the time limit, and then you had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, which would give you a massive world, and you'd have a bunch of objectives that you would go and talk to people to complete and stuff.
No
I don't know if
time
it's going to be
limit.
more like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, to where you have the giant world and you just pick up objectives as you skate through the world, or if it's going to be like 1 through 3, to where you just have the time limit and it's more like classic mode.
And I'm sure there are some people out there who are like, well, what about Skate? And the thing is, I enjoy Skate. I really do enjoy Skate, but I don't get the Tony Hawk experience out of Skate. When I play Tony Hawk, I want an arcadey game. Like, I want something arcadey. I want to.
I don't know, man. Have you ever played Skate 3 on easy mode?
Yeah, it's pretty joking.
You ever played Skate 3 in general?
Skate 3 was just a major disappointment.
Skate 3 was the best game ever for all the wrong reasons.
Skate, like, I love
Like
I
Akuma
can't-
was in it.
Like, I played Skate 2 till the damn disc exploded. I love Skate 2. Skate 2 is fantastic. But when I play Skate 2, I'm not playing a Tony Hawk game. I want Tony Hawk. If I want a Tony Hawk game, I want to be able to just play as Spider-Man and jump up in the damn sky.
Yeah, what characters do you guys want to see in the next Call of Duty? Fucking hell. In the
Snoop
next
Dogg?
Tony Hawk game.
Snoop Dogg. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm being.
Let's go around. All right, Christian, go first. So Snoop
I want
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. I want Snoop Dogg and Spider-Man
I think Spider-Man. I don't think he's gonna be in because Marvel
fighting.
and Disney. Hey man,
Sony.
whatever it takes to happen, man. I think it would
I
be
really
really
do
cool to
want
have
Snoop Dogg.
console exclusive characters.
I really do want Snoop Dogg.
Like put fucking Sweet Tooth and
Snoop Tooth.
Kratos and put like Kratos on PlayStation and then have fucking Master Chief pulling 900s and shit. I think that'd be cool as fuck. You could have like how you could even put Sunset Overdrive. You could just like put stereotypical protagonists from Sunset Overdrive into Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. I mean, considering the parkour mechanics in that game, there's a lot of cool things they could do with that. And they could even like a Sunset Overdrive themed level, which would be really cool. There's a lot they could do with like console exclusive content.
Is there gonna be like a weed theme level for Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
Like every grind you make, like smoke weed every day.
Yes. And it's literally just an MLG parody 24/7 on that level. Moon physics are required.
That's the biggest thing I hope. I hope they don't do anything too serious. I hope they keep it goofy.
They kept like big head mode and moon physics and all that jazz in HD. The only thing was that while you had those on, you couldn't play online PvP because joining an online match and having moon physics and perfect manual would be fucking ridiculous. And then they also had it to where your scores wouldn't count towards leaderboards. Duh.
Yeah, well, obviously.
But you could actually just play. You could play the game and stuff with friends. I hope they bring back. My biggest worry, hands down, is that they have not. They've only talked about online multiplayer for online co-op and online PvP. I really hated that HD did not have an offline split screen option, and I really hope that 5 has offline.
I'm sure they will, because that'd be ridiculous if they didn't. Because it's been in all of them but HD.
The game is getting like docked points for me if it doesn't have it. I'm not even joking. Like that's huge.
Points from anybody. That's a big thing. Like that's something that needs to be in there. Because if it's not in there, it's just gonna be a joke. Like who gives a shit?
What about you, Reno? Who do you want in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5?
I can answer it, Rose.
I was gonna say Rose.
Fuck off, Christian. I wanted it to be a surprise. I thought no one would know. I thought it'd be like I legit thought that you guys were gonna like be like, oh my god, I can't believe you just said that.
Well, who do you want, Reno?
Rose.
Oh my god, I can't believe you just said
I
that.
hate you.
Amazing.
I hate you.
She could be the Soul Skater, dude.
I want Rose, and I want her like super trick to be called Crouch Strong Soul Spiral.
her like one of her super moves is a manual where she just stands on her scarf and just twirls
She just
around.
stands on the scarf.
Yeah, I honestly I could like think of special moves for her. That would be hype as fuck.
And then like probably Bayonetta because I'm a fucking.
Dude,
Like,
if the game was coming, I wish the game was coming to Wii U because that would totally open up
Oh,
Bayonetta.
I guess for my second one then.
Her hair would just be the
because if we're all doing at
skateboard.
least two, if we're all doing two, I would also like Riff Raff. Neon Icon would be hype. He just run around on. He wouldn't even ride on a skateboard. He just ride around on Jody Husky. Just on his ride Jody Husky. Be great.
Holy shit, that'd be so great.
His super would just be
Skateboarding
like,
in the Jordans.
skateboarding in my jaw.
Holy-
Rap game Tony Hawk.
Dude, that'd be so kick ass.
Right.
I definitely like even if there is no offline, I'll still love the game. I still love HD.
yeah.
I still play it, but it's just it would suck. I don't know. I just hope that the game, above all else, I'm hoping to hear some 60 FPS announcement because the originals ran at 60 FPS, and I'm just used to Tony Hawk running at 60 FPS. So HD running at 30 was kind of a disappointment as well.
In this day and age, I mean,
60
I
FPS 1080p.
yeah.
I don't give a shit if it's 1080p or not, as long as it's 60 FPS.
I'm
59
one of those
frames is dead.
people.
I will give up some pixels if it means that it's running smooth.
I have always said, if I have to go down to 720p for 60 frames per second, by God, then I'll take it.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't want to hear 1080p 30 FPS. I want to hear 60 FPS 720p way more.
For that cinematic experience.
Oh, yeah.
Cinematic.
Order 1886, everybody. Let's go.
Oh my
The
god.
werewolves from Order 1886.
Remember
are
that
actually
one time in
unlockable
Order
characters.
1886 when the game ended?
Yeah, I just picked it up, and then I popped in the game, and then, like, 2 hours later, I was at the ending, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I finished it.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, at
What a
least it
fun
had-
meme.
So, to close it off, I think we should ask a question.
What question do you have? Clearly, you have a question to ask. What question do you have?
Question is, do you think that
You can totally. He just came to class without a pen, without a notebook.
I
He's
always
totally
do that
unprepared for everything.
I
Like one of those-
always do that shit.
You go
like
into
one of
acting
those-
class. That doesn't even count.
You sound like one of
Alright,
those
so-
nerd asses at Comic Con.
So
who's asking
recently, Big E, and he runs tournaments. He's very well known because he never fucks up, and he's really nice, and he gives out free stuff. He's a cool guy. So
Not to do with Smash.
no, it has to do with
Killer Instinct.
So recently, he decided, at least from what speculation is, that Killer Instinct will no longer be at these events because the game is basically dead. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it is dead.
It's pretty.
I
much
mean,
dead.
you just talk to Killer Instinct players who go to actual local tournaments and stuff, and they'll even tell you small tournaments are good turnouts. Like any turnout is good for KI tournaments because no one plays that game offline. It's a damn shame. I think that it's cool that Microsoft is pumping money into the KI Pro League, and I feel like that has the chance to start a community of some kind back up. But I don't know if it's enough, and I think it might be a case of too little, too late. I do
Well,
hope that the game
the
has a
other-
future because I love that game. I think it's fun as hell, regardless of how good and balanced it is competitively. I think rock, paper, scissors is a stupid mechanic to have for competitive play, but I think casually it's one of the most fun fighting games
Sure.
ever.
Poker.
Well, another thing is the big guy, like that big well-known name, Jay Wong, was playing it competitively, and I don't think he plays it competitively anymore because he picked up MKX.
Yeah, him, Chris G, Filipino Champ, they all played it. They just kind of stopped. Rico Suave, I think he still plays it, but that's about it for.
Yeah, the rest of them either went to MKX.
Maximilian plays it and he works on it now, but that's going to
Yeah,
attract a lot more of a casual crowd, not a huge competitive crowd.
Yeah, it's not
so
gonna track.
That's
not going to attract enough tournament going wannabe pro players. That's just going to attract meh people.
Also, I don't know if we're dragging this on too long. More news about PT. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Wait, what?
I guess this is
Breaking news! Breaking
breaking
news!
news at 2:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. PSA: PT demo may restrict your access from PSN library. So someone on PSN loaded up their PT, and it like literally restricted them from every single digital download that they have.
I mean,
He says
Konami was...
PSN checks all licenses at once. If one does not exist on a network, all DRM checks on PSN fail. So just check. Even deleting PT does not remove its license from your system. If you downloaded PT ever at any point, then you are unable to renew licenses. You are unable to renew licenses for any of your digital games. For someone like me who owns mostly digital, that means I cannot play any of my games.
Here's the thing.
That's fucking stupid.
It's gonna have a
that's an
fix.
issue.
It's gonna be a fix.
It isn't a Konami thing.
Yeah, that's because
It's a
I'm
PS4.
sure. Yeah, this is a PlayStation thing because.
It's a PS4 with DRM when they said no DRM.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you honestly believe them saying there would no.
No, I know. I'm just
DRM,
saying
you're
that, like,
stupid.
you know, like you just have to realize that, like, it's DRM.
Oh yeah, and it's a thing. Probably because they didn't really know how to respond to something getting pulled from the market. But no, I wouldn't even say that because
Like 2 weeks to prepare for this thing.
JoJo's also is pulled. JoJo's isn't available on there.
Marvel,
Neither
any
is.
Well, I mean, PS3 didn't
Yeah.
have this issue when Marvel vs. Capcom stuff were pulled. I mean, people still play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online on PS3 to this day.
Yeah, like the game is
Yeah.
still being played. I really just think that this is a DRM thing.
It's just
Yeah,
it's a PS4 DRM thing. Because I think this is the first time that anything on PS4 has been pulled from the store.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
new stuff.
And not only that, but it was free, so they probably also didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it wasn't an automated system that they had in place. It wasn't them not knowing how to handle it. It was literally just them. I think the whole purpose of the DRM would have been to stop people from downloading a game before it existed or, like, hacking, like, downloading. It's basically, like, just checking to see if you have the license for this.
Disabling day one.
Like let's say I illegally download Battlefield Hardline onto a flash drive or something. I put it on my PS4 somehow. I don't know how you would do that, but let's just say theoretically I did it. And I checked online and it didn't register because it's an illegal copy. It would lock me out because I'm literally stealing games. I think that was the purpose, but that's a horrendous way to go about it.
Mhm.
Especially considering in this day and age, considering for the past 5-10 years of online PSN and Xbox Live Arcade, we've seen so many games get pulled because of licensing issues and cancellations. And at this point, you should just be prepared for that to happen more.
Mm-hmm. I think that is. Gonna be,
Fuck you, Sony.
yeah.
But I think that's about. I don't know. Without dwelling on that too long.
Yeah, we're not dwelling on that too long.
Yeah,
But I think that's it for today. We really didn't have a lot of good news, did we?
yeah, no, it was mostly shitty news about companies doing bad things.
Let's all sing together. I love video games. Video games are so fun.
But I'm not a liar.
Yeah. It's just been a.
This has been the Space-to-Jump podcast. We hate video games.
Hopefully, next podcast we'll have more good news.
Maybe.
I doubt it. Good night.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.